The rainy night rescue Marcus Reed pulled his jacket tighter as he locked up between the lines. His small bookstore tucked between a coffee shop and a vintage clothing store on Maple Street. The October rain hammered the sidewalk, creating rivers that rushed toward the storm drains. At 32, Marcus had grown comfortable with his quiet life, surrounded by books and the occasional customer who actually appreciated literature over bestseller lists. The streetlights cast wavering reflections on the wet pavement as he hurried toward his apartment 3 blocks away. That's when he saw her, a figure huddled against the brick wall of the old theater, soaked through and shivering. Her long silver hair clung to her pale skin, and even in the dim light, something about her seemed otherworldly. "Hey, are you okay?" Marcus approached cautiously, noting how she flinched at his voice. Up close, her features were striking sharp cheekbones, eyes that seemed to shift color in the streetlight, and an ethereal quality that made his breath catch. Double quotes, she began, then swayed dangerously. Marcus caught her as she collapsed, surprised by how light she felt despite being average height. Her skin was fever-hot, and when she looked up at him, her eyes definitely weren't human. They held flecks of gold that seemed to glow. Without hesitation, Marcus scooped her into his arms. "I'm taking you somewhere warm and dry. Can you tell me your name?" "Zara," she whispered, her accent unfamiliar and musical. "I have nowhere to go." Marcus's apartment was modest but cozy, filled with books and warm lighting. He settled Zara on his couch, wrapping her in his softest blanket while he prepared tea. When he returned, she was staring at his collection of astronomy books with an expression he couldn't read. "You're interested in the stars?" he asked, handing her the steaming mug. Their fingers brushed, and he felt an electric shock that had nothing to do with static. "More than you know," Zara replied, accepting the tea gratefully. As she warmed up, Marcus found himself captivated by her presence. There was something regal about the way she held herself, despite her bedraggled state. "Where are you from?" Marcus settled into the armchair across from her, trying not to stare at how the blanket had slipped to reveal her elegant collarbone. Zara hesitated. "Very far away. Farther than you might believe." Over the next hour, Marcus learned fragments of her story or what she was willing to share. She spoke of running from dangerous people, of being alone in a world that didn't understand her. When exhaustion finally overtook her, Marcus carried her to his bed, taking the couch for himself. But sleep didn't come easily. Throughout the night, he heard her murmuring in a language that sounded like music mixed with starlight. When he checked on her, her skin seemed to glow faintly in the darkness, and the air around her shimmered like heat waves. The next morning, Marcus woke to find Zara standing by his window, silhouetted against the sunrise. She'd changed into one of his shirts, and the sight of her long legs beneath the hem made his mouth go dry. "Thank you," she said without turning around. "You didn't have to help a stranger." Marcus joined her at the window, close enough to smell her unique scent like rain and something floral he couldn't identify. Everyone needs help sometimes. When Zara turned to face him, her eyes held a vulnerability that made his chest tight. "What if I told you I was more than just a stranger? What if I was something you couldn't possibly understand?" Marcus reached out, gently tucking a strand of silver hair behind her ear. Her skin was warm now, and she leaned into his touch. "Then I'd say the best things in life usually are." The moments stretched between them, heavy with possibility and unspoken attraction. Somewhere in the distance, thunder rumbled. Zara's eyes flashed with something that might have been fear or recognition. 3 days passed, like a dream Marcus never wanted to wake from. Zara moved through his apartment with unconscious grace, her presence transforming his mundane space into something magical. She helped at the bookstore, her insights into literature revealing an education far beyond anything earthly. Customers were drawn to her otherworldly beauty, but she seemed to see only Marcus. Their attraction grew stronger each day. Casual touches while reaching for the same book, lingering glances across the dinner table, the electricity that sparked whenever they were near each other. Marcus found himself falling for this mysterious woman who made his heart race, and his ordered world feel suddenly full of possibilities. The 4th evening, While sharing Chinese takeout by candlelight, Zara finally broke. "I can't keep lying to you," she whispered, setting down her chopsticks with trembling hands. "You've been so kind, and I'm falling in love with you, Marcus, but you deserve the truth." Marcus's heart skipped at her confession, but concern filled him as tears gathered in her extraordinary eyes. "Whatever it is, we can handle it together." Zara stood, moving to the center of the living room. "Promise me you won't run." "I promise." Taking a deep breath, Zara closed her eyes and let her disguise fall away. Her silver hair began to glow with inner light. Her skin took on an luminescent quality, and delicate patterns that looked like constellations appeared along her arms and throat. When she opened her eyes, they blazed with starfire. "My name is Zara Velenith, of the House of Twilight Stars. I am the rightful heir to the throne of Nazera, a planet in what you call the Andromeda Galaxy." Marcus stared, his logical mind struggling to process what he was seeing. The woman he'd fallen for was literally not of this world. "You single quotes an alien, yes?" Zara's voice broke. "I was betrayed by my cousin Vexamore and barely escaped with my life. I've been hiding here on your world, trying to stay alive long enough to find a way home." The silence stretched between them. Marcus watched the play of light across her transformed features, more beautiful than any earthly woman had a right to be. Instead of fear, he felt wonder. "Show me more," he said quietly. Relief flooded Zara's face. She raised her hand, and light danced between her fingers like captive stars. With a gesture, she lifted his coffee table into the air, rotating it gently before setting it down. "My people are what you might call an advanced species. We've traveled between stars for millennia, but with great power comes great responsibility and great danger." Marcus stood and walked to her, noting how she tensed as if expecting rejection. Instead, he cupped her glowing face in his hands. "You're incredible. You're not afraid of. You never." He leaned closer, drawn by her alien beauty and the love shining in her star-bright eyes. "I'm terrified of losing you." Their kiss was electric, literally. Marcus felt power flow between them as Zara's control slipped, her emotional response triggering small lichos around the apartment. Books fluttered their pages, candles flared higher, and the very air seemed to sing when they broke apart. Both breathing hard, Zara's markings pulsed with golden light. Marcus's eye, a low rumble shook the building. Outside the window, impossible. Shapes moved across the night sky, sleek vessels that belonged in science fiction. Not hovering over downtown, Zara's face went pale, her glow dimming to almost nothing. "They found me." "Who?" "My cousin's hunters. We have to run now." She grabbed his hand, her skin fever-hot with panic. "I won't let them hurt you because of me." Marcus squeezed her fingers. "Then we run together." But first he pulled her close for another kiss, pouring all his feelings into the contact. "I love you too, Zara. Whatever you are, wherever you're from." Thunder crashed overhead, but it wasn't a storm approaching. It was Zara's pass, catching up with them both. The royal pursuit, Marcus threw clothes into a backpack while Zara used her abilities to shield his apartment from detection. The alien ships circled overhead like predators, their sleek forms cutting through the clouds with unnatural silence. "Cousin Vexamore is ruthless," Zara explained, her hands weaving patterns in the air that created a shimmering barrier around the building. "He murdered my parents to claim the throne, and he'll kill anyone who stands in his way, including me." Zara's markings flared brighter, "Especially you. He can't afford to let me find happiness or allies. Human who knows our secrets and has my heart. You're a threat he'll eliminate without hesitation." They escaped through the building's basement garage using Marcus's old Honda to blend in with normal traffic. Even as they drove through the city's winding streets, the alien vessels tracked their movement from above. "Where can we go that they won't find us?" Marcus asked, taking her hand as they sat at a red light. "Nowhere on your world is truly safe from their technology," Zara admitted. "But I know a place where we might have time to plan." The place was an abandoned observatory in the mountains, 3 hours outside the city. As they climbed the winding road, Zara told Marcus more about her world, a planet of floating crystal cities and aurora-painted skies. where her people lived in harmony with cosmic forces. It sounds beautiful, Marcus said, as they settled in the old observatory for the night. Zara had used her powers to clean the space and create a warm, comfortable shelter among the dusty equipment. It was. Sadness colored her voice. My family's rule in Ixera was a beacon of peace and knowledge. But Veximer craves war and conquest. He wants to expand our empire by enslaving other worlds, including Earth. Zara nodded, moving closer to him on the makeshift bed they'd created. Your world would be an easy conquest. But I won't let that happen. In the silver moonlight filtering through the observatory's dome, Zara's alien beauty was breathtaking. Her markings had settled into a soft, steady glow that painted constellation patterns across her skin. When Marcus traced one with his finger, she shivered. These marks, he whispered, following a line of stars down her throat to her collarbone. What do they mean? They show my heritage, my power level, my emotional state? Her breathing quickened as he continued exploring. Right now, they're showing how much I want you. Their lovemaking was gentle and desperate, two souls finding solace in each other while the world threatened to tear them apart. Zara's skin glowed brighter as passion overtook her, and Marcus felt her alien nature in every touch, every kiss, every whispered endearment in her musical language. Afterward, as they lay entwined beneath the stars visible through the dome, Zara traced patterns on Marcus's chest. There's something else you need to know, she said quietly. The reason Veximer is so determined to find me isn't just because I threaten his rule, it's because of what I carry. What do you mean? Zara sat up, her hair cascading over her shoulders. Like liquid starlight. My father gave me something before he died. The location of the heart of Nyxera. It's an ancient artifact that can control our planet's defensive systems. With it, I could retake the throne and stop Veximor's war plans, but it's hidden somewhere on your world. My father brought it here years ago as a safeguard, but I need to access our royal archives to find the exact location. A new sound cut. Through the night, the whisper of approaching ships. Through the dome, Marcus saw lights descending from the sky, moving with predatory purpose toward their hideout. They found us again, Zara breathed, fear and determination warring in her. Glowing eyes, Marcus pulled on his clothes, his mind racing. Then it's time to stop running and start fighting back. Marcus, you don't understand the danger. I understand that I love you. He cupped her face, looking deep into her star-bright eyes. And I understand that sometimes love means taking impossible risks. Outside, alien voices called in Zara's musical language, growing closer to their sanctuary. Love across the stars, the capture came swiftly, despite Zara's powers. Veximer's hunters were too numerous and well-armed, their technology specifically designed to counter her abilities, as energy nets wrapped around them both. Marcus saw Zara's anguish at bringing him into danger. The alien ship's interior was a marvel of crystal and flowing metal, beautiful and terrifying. Veximer himself was waiting in what appeared to be a throne room, tall and elegant like Zara, but where her markings showed warm gold and silver. His pulsed with cold blue light that spoke of cruelty and ambition. Cousin Veximer said in accented English, his voice smooth as poisoned honey. How far you've fallen, hiding among these primitive creatures. At least I haven't fallen to murdering family, Zara spat, her own markings flaring defiantly despite the energy restraints. Veximer's gaze shifted too. Marcus with predatory interest. And this is your pet human? Oh, quaint. I'd heard you'd grown attached to one of them. Leave him out of this, Veximer. Your quarrel is with me. On the contrary, Veximer circled them like a shark. His existence proves you've gone native, forgotten your royal duties. But don't worry, his death will remind you of your proper place. No, Zara's power flared, cracking the energy bonds holding her. Touch him, and I'll tear your ship apart. Marcus had never seen her so fierce, so regal, even restrained and threatened. She blazed with the authority of someone born to rule. It was magnificent and heartbreaking. Such passion for a lesser being, Veximer mused. Very well, I'll make you a bargain, dear cousin. Come home willingly. Submit to neural reconditioning to forget your human pet, and I'll let him live out his short life on his pathetic world. And if I refuse, Veximer smiled coldly, then you'll watch him die slowly, while I extract every detail about Earth's defenses from his mind. Your world will be my next conquest, Zara. The only question is whether it happens with or without your cooperation. The journey to Nexera took 3 days in Earth time. Veximer's ship existed partially outside normal space-time, making the trip through dimensional folds. Marcus was kept in comfortable quarters, treated more like a valuable hostage than a prisoner, but always under guard. Zara was allowed to visit him each day, their time together precious and desperate. She told him about her world as it approached, how the planet itself was alive, its crystal formations resonating with cosmic energy, how her people had evolved beyond physical limitations to become beings of living light and consciousness. Need to tell you something, she said on their final night in space, curled against him on the narrow bed. Through the viewport, Nexera grew larger, a world of impossible beauty, its surface gleaming with cities that looked like captured auroras. What is it? When we bond, make love, our species creates connections that go deeper than physical. I can feel your thoughts sometimes, your emotions. Her markings pulsed with embarrassment and desire. And you're changing, Marcus. Being with me is awakening something in your DNA, something that was always there but dormant.
Yes.
Marcus had noticed. It twented reflexes, the ability to see Zara's people's technology as more than just incomprehensible alien artifacts. Dreams filled with starlight and cosmic harmony. What does it mean? It means you're becoming something more than human, something that could survive in my world. She kissed him deeply, her power flowing between them like liquid starlight. It means we might actually have a future together if I can find a way to stop Veximer. Their lovemaking that night was desperate and tender, a claiming of each other before facing an uncertain tomorrow. Zara's alien nature was fully revealed in their intimacy. Her skin became translucent, revealing the flow of energy beneath, her markings painting both their bodies in living light. When Zara's crystal spires rose around them as they descended, Marcus squeezed Zara's hand. Whatever happens, I love you, and I believe in you, even if I'm not the same person who collapsed. In the rain that night, Marcus looked at her, his mysterious, powerful alien princess, and smiled. Especially because you're not. The ship landed in the capital city, and through the viewport Marcus saw crowds of Nexerans gathering. But instead of the hostile reception Veximer expected, many bore the symbols of Zara's royal house, their markings showing colors of hope and rebellion. It seems, Veximer said coldly, that your cousin's return is more anticipated than I calculated. The galactic wedding, the crystal palace that had once been Zara's childhood home, gleamed like captured starlight against Nexora's aurora-painted sky. Marcus stood on a balcony overlooking the capital city, still amazed that he was on an alien world, watching crowds of luminescent beings celebrate in the streets below. 3 weeks had passed since their arrival. 3 weeks of revolution, revelation, and the most intense period of Marcus's life. Zara's return had sparked a rebellion that Veximer's forces couldn't contain. When she'd finally accessed the royal archives and found the location of the heart of Nexo hidden beneath his own bookstore of all places, the tide had turned completely. Having second thoughts about marrying an alien empress? Zara's voice was warm with amusement as she joined him on the balcony. She wore traditional Nexeron royal robes that seemed to be woven from living light, but her smile was the same one that had captivated him in his small apartment. Never. Marcus turned to face her, still marveling at her ethereal beauty. Though I have to admit I never imagined my life taking this particular turn. Neither did I. Zara moved into his arms, her markings shifting to the warm gold that indicated deep happiness, a human consort to the Nexeran throne. The council is still debating the constitutional implications. And what did you tell them? That love recognizes no borders, planetary or otherwise? That you've proven yourself worthy of a place at my side? She traced the subtle changes in his features, the enhanced bone structure, the eyes that now held flecks of starlight like her own. Besides, you're not entirely human anymore. It was true. The bonding process with Zara had awakened dormant. genetic sequences that apparently existed in a small percentage of Earth's population. A legacy from ancient contact between their species millennia ago. Marcus was becoming something new, something that could survive and thrive in Nyxera's cosmic energy environment. "Are you ready for the ceremony?" Zara asked, adjusting the ceremonial robes the palace tailors had created for him. As ready as someone can be for a royal wedding broadcast to 17 different galaxies, the ceremony took place in the Palace of Eternal Stars, a structure that existed partially in normal space and partially in the cosmic energy dimension that Nyxerans called home. Beings from across the known universe attended, some in person, others through dimensional projection, all there to witness the union that would reshape galactic politics. Marcus stood at the altar made of living crystal, watching Zara process. Down an aisle of condensed starlight, the music was the harmony of distant quasars, arranged by Nyxeran composers into a symphony that made his enhanced senses ring with beauty. The ceremony itself was a blend of Nyxeran tradition and human custom, conducted by the High Priestess of the Cosmic Order and a human minister who'd been brought from Earth for the occasion. When they exchanged Vosmarcus in English and Nyxar in both, Zara in 17 different languages, to honor all the Alliance worlds, their words were broadcast to billions of beings across the galaxy. Zara Velenith of the House of Twilight. "Stars take you, Marcus Reed of Earth, to be my beloved consort," she said, her voice ringing with power and sincerity. "In starlight and shadow, in peace and storm, across all the worlds that turn beneath distant suns, I, Marcus Reed, take you, Zara, to be my wife and empress," Marcus replied, his own voice steady, despite the magnitude of the moment. "From one small bookstore to infinite galaxies, you have my heart, my loyalty, and my love." When they kissed, to seal their union, energy cascaded around them like aurora, and every Nyxeran in the palace sang in harmony with the cosmic forces that bound them together. The celebration lasted for 3 days, with diplomats and dignitaries from across known space offering congratulations and alliance treaties. Marcus found himself at the center of a political revolution in his marriage, too. Zara had created the first interspecies royal house in galactic history, opening doors for peaceful contact that had been closed for millennia. On their wedding night, alone at last in their chambers high in the crystal spire, Zara and Marcus made love under alien stars while the aurora danced around their tower. Zara's markings painted them both in living constellation patterns, and Marcus felt their bond deepen into something that transcended physical form entirely. "Do you ever miss it?" Zara asked, as they lay entwined afterward, their shared glow slowly fading to a comfortable warmth. "Your old life, your bookstore, the simplicity of Earth." Marcus considered the question, looking out at the impossible beauty of Nyxera's night sky, where 3 moons traced paths between crystal cities that floated like jewels in the darkness. "I miss some things," he admitted, "but I wouldn't trade this for anything." Besides, he smiled, pulling her closer. "I'm thinking of opening a new bookstore. It's one that serves customers from 17 different galaxies. Between the Stars has a nice ring to it," Zara laughed, "the sound like celestial music. My empress needs a hobby besides ruling an intergalactic empire. Your empress needs to remember that some of the best things in life start with small, simple moments, like helping a stranger on a rainy night. Even when that stranger turns out to be alien royalty with enemies and political complications." Marcus kissed her forehead, tasting starlight and promises. "Especially then." Outside their window, Nyxera's crystal cities sang their evening harmonies, while distant galaxies wheeled through space, and Marcus Reed, former bookstore owner, current alien consort, and the luckiest man in 17 star systems, held his impossible love and dreamed of all the adventures yet to come. Their love story had begun with rain and refuge. Now it would reshape the galaxy itself, one planet, one heart, one impossible dream at a time.